Yes, people. What is happening? Welcome to Saeed TV and welcome back to another live show. Adam is on his way. Don't worry, people. He's on his way. He's not left me hanging. He's just setting up his laptop. But listen, while we wait for Adam to come in, how's everybody doing? Hope everybody's blessed. Hope everybody is good. I'm saying to you, big up to you, man. Let's say to you, man, each and every time, man. Big up to everybody who's doing a 50K, man. I think I'm going to do a 50K live stream on Sunday, people. So make sure you tune in for that one. Sunday, hopefully, I'm going to do a 50K live stream. We're going to have a chat for a couple of hours and we're going to discuss the journey, the ups and downs. So I want you all to be there. And obviously, Monday, I'm going to do the Straight Jacket Podcast 50K special. So we're just going to have a big, laugh, a joke, or whatnot. Big up to everybody who's been on a journey, man. It's been a very, very long journey. Started in 2017, man. Didn't know how to edit. I'm not even gonna lie to you, man. People said that, people think that content creators just fall into it and they think they know that what they're doing. Honestly, man, I never knew what to do. Never knew how to hold a camera, anything, editing. If you look at my first vlog, people, like there was I think there was a banner or kind of a train mark on it. I didn't know how to take it off. You know what I'm saying? So big up to everybody who's been on the journey, man. And Adam is here, man. Adam, it's good to finally see you, man. I feel like I've not seen you in ages, man.
I know, mate. I know. It's one thing or another, mate, wasn't it? It's
yeah.
Whirlwind of an end of a season, mate, got in the way of us, didn't it, pal?
Absolutely, mate. Absolutely. I was meant to see you on the Youth Cup final, but listen, man, my leg said otherwise, mate. My leg said otherwise. I just got one of them injuries. When you've just been training a lot, man. I didn't rest, and people think that as much as you're training, you have to have recovery. And I didn't rest, and all of a sudden, I just got this pain, and I couldn't put my weight on my leg. Funny enough, it came just before the Youth Cup final when I wanted to see some sort of happiness. But it's just that kind of season, isn't it, Adam? It's that kind of season, isn't it? But how are you, mate? How are you?
Yeah, mate. Just seen the thing there with the 50K, mate. Congrats, mate.
Yeah, man. Big up to you, man.
Yeah.
Listen, it's been a journey, man. It's been a journey. You've been there. I think I met you in 2018, but I just started in 2017. And then ever since then, mate, you know what I mean? It's been a journey, innit? It's been a journey, man.
Mate. So... It has indeed, yeah. Everything's moved on. We've all gone in our directions, and it's just been crazy, mate. But yeah, we're all smashing it, mate. So
that's
in terms of the season, mate, it was literally we had to wait for the under-18s to actually see a performance because what we watched towards the back end of that season is just, well, I think we all know exactly what it was, mate. It was just a pile of crap, and we're all glad it's over now.
We're all glad it's over. You know what, man? It's all about new beginnings, man. I feel like we've had a lot of it, Adam. You know what I mean? We've had a lot of new beginnings. I think Alfie now, you know what I mean? He's got how many managers has Alfie seen now?
Let me just count them out now. Let me just work it out. So, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. This is going to be 8.
8 managers. Have you included Carrick in there?
Yeah, he's been a season ticket holder for 10 years, near enough, and he has seen 8 Man United managers. Check that out. Wow.
Crazy, man. Just when you thought United was a stable club and, you know what I mean, they had one manager before that, 8 follow. You know what I mean? It just shows you what kind of mess we've been in, man. But it's been the end. You were there for the Crystal Palace game, man. Obviously, I was doing a watch-along game, but I tell you what, I wasn't really concentrating on the game. It was that dead, mate. But how was it? How was the atmosphere? How was the kind of feeling on that last day of the season?
It was one of sort of like end of season sort of vibe. Sun was out, people just having a drink, enjoying themselves more, and just entertaining themselves, mate. There weren't much hope. There was no songs sang for any player on the pitch. It was just all nostalgia songs, so history songs. And then the biggest cheer of the night was when someone from one of the boxes above, just to the right-hand side, up behind the Crystal Palace end, cheered when City scored. I was like, when did it ever come to a point at the last day of the season that United fans were chanting and cheering a City goal? That's all we had to cheer about. I couldn't even bring myself to cheer, mate, to be honest.
Yeah, absolutely, man.
Just not for me, right, that. Mate. It's just like looking at other results rather than our own. It's like, God, how far we've fallen.
Yeah, it's true, man. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna lie to you. Like I said to you, I was concentrating on the game. I was almost like, at one point thinking they actually have bottled it. They actually have bottled it, And it just shows to show, man. We can't. We're spectators, Adam. That's the saddest thing about it. We are spectators, and we've done it for a long time, man. And for me, I just feel like we've got. Hopefully, the book changes with Ten Hag, but and we can actually move on now and stop worrying about like what are they going to do? What can we do as a football club? Because we are still a big club. We're Man United. We don't act like one, but we still are one. If you know what I mean.
Yeah, well, that's it, mate. It's across the world. We are still that juggernaut, that big historic club of yesteryears, famous teams, famous managers, famous nights. But it's right now. It's if we didn't have that, we would have been irrelevant. We really would. We'd be like a mid-table team that just doesn't really appeal to anybody. And that's exactly how we've been playing. To be honest, we've not entertained. I mean, the stats alone for this season have been off the scale, ridiculous, mate. I mean, 57 goals scored, 57 conceded, only 58 points. Wow. I mean, that is mid-table. Mid-table fodder. It really is. But for Ronaldo, De Gea, you could say we would be fighting relegation probably this season. We definitely wouldn't have qualified out of that Champions League group without Ronaldo.
Well, 100% not. We've seen it.
Feel like, it's just been. It was the perfect end to the season, really, and great that Ten Hag was actually there to watch the players and see for himself how bad we are. Because it's like you said, you lay this, you lay that, but ultimately he's now seen it with his own eyes and knows exactly what's in front of him, and not surprised that he's started work early and he's looking to try and make inroads into this squad already. If it's improving it or digging it out or whatever, mate, it needs a lot of work because he needs to hit the ground running.
Absolutely, mate. Absolutely. By the way, just a quick question before we move on to Ten Hag. Was that Crystal Palace fans doing that to Cavani, or was that actually United fans? Did you know?
Well, Cavani came over and clapped all the United fans and thanked them and waved them off in the stadium. So I'd be very surprised if them same United fans then went and turned on him outside the team bus, because where I was stood, and this is what happened, United fans went out earlier because Crystal Palace fans stayed in to the lap of honour to see the fans off. So as I was filming outside, it was all Crystal Palace fans, and I seen United's coaches pull up down the side of the stadium. It was a Crystal Palace end. I don't think there would have been many Manchester United fans there, or maybe people probably looking to get a glimpse of United. Of course. But it wouldn't have been. It definitely wouldn't have been the hardcore of United fans. I can guarantee you that.
Absolutely, absolutely. But we have got a new era now. Ten Hag is at the realm. I don't know if you obviously you caught the press conference, but the biggest one I caught from it when he said "good isn't good enough." I think that for me was a highlight of his video. I think there was loads of ones that came up as well that you probably remember more than me.
I remember me, I draw my own line comment. That was my favorite one.
I love that as well.
I made the decision because he's not listening to anyone else. He says, "I'll draw my own line."
Yeah, that's what you want to hear, because we've seen a lot of players, or saw a lot of managers come and go. A lot of people have influences when they shouldn't have. It's kind of, for me, refreshing to hear that, Adam, the fact that he's come in and said, yeah, Ralph Rangnick has been here, but again, I'm making my own decisions here. I mean, and it's authoritative. It's something at least coming in and thinking, you know what? Fair play to you, mate. You've only been here one day and you're speaking like that, mate. Fair play to you.
100%, mate. 100%. He knows his own mind. He knows what he wants to do. He knows what he's got to do. And let's hope it is the sort of revelation that Pep was at Manchester City. As he plays in the same way, he works the same way. Can he get United where City and Liverpool are? I mean, it's not going to happen overnight, mate, but we're obviously going to look ahead and go, right, as long as we can see the progress, as long as we can see the improvements coming season on season, then we'll be all right. We'll be all right. We'll get a little cup run. I do believe that he should just go for the Europa League, to be honest.
Yeah,
go for it. Really go for it. Make sure, because chance there just to end the trophy drought and not worry about top four, get an inroad into the Champions League, and build from there. I mean, Jose Mourinho did it and got us back on track in terms of actually back in the Champions League. I do believe that Europa League now becomes a big priority because I don't think he's got enough in his locker unless we have an amazing summer to actually compete. I think finishing top 4 would be an overachievement with the teams that we're competing against. I do believe that Europa League is really important now.
Absolutely. Just before I ask you a question, someone's asking any summer road trips.
There's things planned. Yes, there is.
There
is
go.
Summer plans, fellas. I'll be reeled. You can stay tuned to my channel as well, and obviously I'm on the United Stand. We've got loads of stuff planned. I was just happy to be in the press box as well the other day.
Yeah, man. Big up to you as well, man. I was that, by the way, that experience, like Adam Matic reporting on the game, man. Big up to you,
mate. I interviewed my hero, Brian Robson.
Brian Robson.
Not many fans can say that. I've spoke with Evra, Robson, Blomqvist, John O'Shea, Danny Webber. Spoke with, I missed Berbatov, who I would love to have got hold of, but he was at the wrong end. He came out the wrong way. But yeah,
typical of his career, and it just slides through and just kind of,
mate. The whole experience was brilliant, and Ring on More have got massive plans for the summer and even bigger plans for next season. So cannot
massively.
wait.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. Just going back to the Ten Hag thing, what I liked as well, the fact that he went in around the staff, down to the mega store, you know what I mean? And kind of like, shook everyone's hand.
Crazy that. He just turned up.
Turned up, mate. And he's got that bit of enthusiasm about him. I don't want to say Fergie but the fact that he's coming in and he's coming like a proper figure now. He's got a bit of aura about him now. And for me, that's why I'm super excited, is that he's taking control now. And I like the fact that he shook everybody's hand in the media. You know what I mean? And that for me was like, listen, if you write any reports about me, if you start to put these links out, because I think some of these reports have been sensationalized. Let's be honest. There's leaks, but there's also this media trying to turn against us, turn fans against each other. Let's not kid ourselves, isn't it?
No, it was a finger. And you looked at every single one, so I watched that interview back, and you looked at all the journalists that were there, and they're big knobs, basically. So you're talking everyone who's anyone from journalists. I know them all. I know who they are, I know who they write for, I know who they report for. And he made a point of going to the whole front row. And I think a few of them were taken aback by it. They were like, it was like, oh, okay, that's a start. But it's like literally, you will get to know them very, very quick, because Marcel van der Kraan was in there as well, a Dutch journalist. And he called him out. He's like called him out by his first name. Because he knew him straight away. So he will get to know these journalists. He will know how it works. He would have been told, I'm sure, how the English press work and how they try to manipulate certain things, like you said, Saeed. But I think straight away, the way he's gone about it there, he's just gone, right, okay, let's hit this. Let's hit this while it's hot. I'm just going to get in here now. Van Gaal was all right at the start, but his English is very, very good. And he made it very clear. His answers to every single journalist were all short, sweet, and to the point. No one can have any complaints. And I just think the way he came across, he isn't going to be clouded by these journalists. He isn't going to be clouded by different opinions. He's one-minded. He knows which avenue, which track he's got, and I don't think he's going to be a problem with the press. I think he's going to be one of these managers that handles them well. And you look at all the top managers, it's like there's a time when they just know when to say no. I think Ten Hag is one of them characters. He comes across that way. If you say something that isn't worth answering, he won't answer it.
100%. But Guardiola and Pep do that as well.
Yeah,
Guardiola and Klopp, they do that well.
Yeah, that's it. I think he'll learn quick. And like I said, he's already got inroads with Van der Sar. He would have told him what's what. And like he said, he's got his own line. He wants to learn himself, wants to see it for himself. So he went through the whole canteen. He met some of the youth team. He met the fans outside. He's met the press. He's basically just gone right in at the deep end and just said, look, right, I've met everyone else now. All that's left is for me to see the players. He's
Yep.
already befriended everyone who knows the players.
Yep.
So he's like, right, okay, all that's left is you lot. Come into my room, come into my office, and let's have this out. Let's see where you stand. So he's done it perfectly, mate, I think. And
Absolutely, mate.
the fact that he finished his contract early and did this so quickly, I think I think that says everything. I think he's tried to do this deliberately to get ahead of the curve.
And the fact that he came to the last game as well, which is for me absolutely, perfect, because that was almost a shambles. Some of the displays against Crystal Palace. I mean, players not trying. You know what I mean? I think that was. I don't know if you see the facial reactions.
Someone sent me the images.
Yeah, exactly. It's almost like, bro, I've got a job here on my hands, and it's gonna take a while, man. But I think the fans have got to be patient, because as much as we think there can be quick fixes, Man United are not a quick fix. We need a lot of players that are going to be shipped out, and we need a lot of players that are going to come in. I feel, sometimes I look at a certain group of players and you think, right, Tuchel's came into Chelsea, kind of got them to be in a cup team and got them winning trophies, where Lampard couldn't do that. I think for people to expect that from Ten Hag, it's going to be difficult, because these group of players failed for Ragnick. They did. Let's not kid ourselves, Adam. Ragnick came in. He came with the philosophy, came with the ideas, and all they had to do was implement it. They finally had a teacher who did it, the master of the Gegenpress, or whatever you want to call it. They had that, and they didn't abide by it. I just hope that Ten Hag has that same reality, that these guys just can't comprehend stuff, and I'm going to need to ship a lot of these out and bring in some players that are going to fit my system. He's going to have to, and the club have got to help him do that.
Oh, mate, that's it. He's brought in, obviously, Van der Gaag and Steve McLaren, but he's going to need probably more, I think. And hopefully now he'll have time this summer. Now he's got this early stage of his integration into Manchester United's underway. I think he'll be going back now. He's going, right, who can I bring into this area? Who works best here for me? Who actually is going to hold up my sort of philosophy and ideas and back me up when I need it? Because I don't think Ralph had any backing from anyone, and that's where it went wrong for him. Ten Hag needs his team behind him that's going to implement his style and his system, and he's got two men there in McLaren and Van der Gaag who will fully back him. They've seen what works, and they will be the ones that support him, but he's going to need more. He's definitely going to need more. It's interesting to see Myrtle as his shadow around all of that visit and that press conference. So Myrtle, if he's on side with him, I think that's a good ally to have within the football club, because let's not forget, Myrtle has done some good things already at the football club. So if he can be on side and say, look, right, okay, this is what I need. Okay, Ten, let's work on this. Let's get that. I think Myrtle is a good one to have definitely on his side, because I think he is the one who is going to have a lot of power within the summer, and definitely in terms of ingoings and outgoings as well. So, I think they're the Myrtle, and then Ralph obviously upstairs in the advisory role. Build your team behind you, get people on board, and that sort of initial sort of friend sort of approach that he's give and got to know everyone. If everyone likes you and everyone is on board with you and likes you as a person, then it's easy for them to follow you as well. And I think that's where he's going with it. And it's a very, very clever approach to coming into Manchester United, to actually see the fans, the staff, all the staff around Old Trafford and the training ground already, friend everyone, meet all the journalists. He's made a massive step without even starting pre-season. Season's not over yet.
Yeah, season's not even over, exactly. And he's done all of that, and it's just kind of it's refreshing to hear. It absolutely is. Big up to Jozu says Ten Hag said in 2019 his philosophy came from Pep. Well, if any philosophy comes from Pep, you know what I mean?
He was his second-hand man in Bayern Munich, and he learned a lot from him. And he models his whole process and his philosophy on Pep Guardiola. It's high press, win the ball back as quick as possible, fast fullbacks, high line, win and attacking football.
And entertain as well.
That is going to be interesting if he can implement that with the team that he's got. Because, I mean, I mentioned it before on United Stand. I went, if he's playing his system, then two players who don't fit in straight away are Harry Maguire and David De Gea. And everyone's like, what? I said, David De Gea has to change if he's going to work under Ten Hag, because you can't have Maguire and David De Gea in the same team, because De Gea doesn't play sweeper keeper and Harry Maguire can't play the high line. So it's either De Gea adapts, which I think is more a possibility, and Maguire out, because we buy a centre-back. Like I said before, Maguire's down to third or fourth choice. So there goes the captaincy, and there goes Harry Maguire. And that will happen because Maguire's not getting in ahead of Varane. And if he brings in his own centre-back, then it's bye-bye Maguire.
You say that, and I think there's another kind of a complexion in midfield. I generally think the Bruno, McTominay, Fred, that's going to get dismantled as well. So I'll be interested to see what goes on down there, because I feel like in that midfield, there's no balance at all. We always kind of look at the centre-backs, but I think also midfield, we need to look at that as well. So it's interesting,
100%. It's like what I was talking before. It's done about what Steve McLaren was saying, bigging up McTominay again already. I'm just like, God, please.
I know.
Please don't let McLaren speak if he's going to talk like that, because everything he said McTominay does, he doesn't. He doesn't, and he hasn't all season. So we need to let that go. And I'm hoping, like I said, that Ten Hag has got that line and he draws it in between him and McLaren. So you just train players, make decisions and do the talking.
But exactly.
If we're going to go forward, then I don't see it being with Scott McTominay in the team. I'm not going to lie, mate. After what I've watched this season, anyway.
Oh, mate, massively. I think there's so many elements to United's team that I think a lot of it will get dismantled. A lot of it, they might stay. I think the more I look at Ronaldo, I think he could keep his position, even though I think United are looking to go and do the business. And that's what the main aim of the kind of video was. Will Man United finally do early business? For me, I can't remember a time where United did finally do early business. I can't remember which summer where United were just straight on it, on the ball, straight on it. Just after, kind of the season finished, United were already sweeping up their signings. And with the early summer...
you know which one it was, mate?
Which one?
It's Felix Ferguson. Phil Jones, Ashley Young and David De Gea.
I remember that one, yeah. You know what? That's a good one.
Bang. They were done. We had them done, and we didn't sign anyone else because everyone thought we were going to sign Schneider that summer as well.
Yeah, true.
We just went keeper in, Ashley Young in, Phil Jones in. It was a good summer.
Yeah, it was. When you look at it, for what Phil Jones was, he was good at Blackburn. A lot of people will disagree, but he was good at Blackburn. He was highly rated there. He did well over there.
Good first season for United as well.
Good first season for United. You're looking at David De Gea, came in with the Atletico Madrid. I watched a few games of him. Was very, very talented. And Ashley Young, let's not kid ourselves, was unbelievable at Sevilla. You know what I mean? And I did set the ground running when he did come to the football club. So for me, they were good signings. But again, United need to come in there. I think Timber, I'm confident with Timber. I think that could be the one that United get first. I think I don't think there's any jurisdiction for him to stay Champions League football. I think he can grow as a player. He's still young. I think for me, he's an aggressive player. He's multi-dimensional, multifaceted. Can play right back, can even play in a six, but obviously we won't try and force him into a six. But centre-back pairing as well. Are you excited by the Timber news coming out now?
Mate. Definitely a player I would buy. 30 million already fits into Ten Hag. Ten Hag knows him. He knows Ten Hag. If there's a player who's going to bring in the position that you need within your squad, then you're going to bring someone in who has played with you, won with you, and knows everything that you're going to say already. It's one less player that needs training in that mold. It's why I can see the likes of like Donny van der Beek and bringing in Frankie de Jong. It's like players who already know the system. Now you've got a spine instantly of a manager and a system. And you know what? If you make a start that way, if you actually say like, okay, I've got my centre back, I've got my centre mid. There's your start. You got two pretty much in the middle of the park there. If you bring Van der Beek back, that know my system, you've already built your spine without even breaking a sweat because they already know what's coming. That would be a very, very good start for Ten Hag. And I do think that Timber is perfect player. a perfect player because, like I said, it's quick, it's fast, he's got a sell-on value, he benefits the club commercially. There's already a song made for him, just as Saeed takes a break. And he's absolutely ideal for what Ten Hag needs, which is most important. It's what Ten Hag wants and what he needs to fit his system.
That's
Timber
key.
is perfect.
You know, when you always feel like something's perfect, you just kind of want it so badly, innit? You know what I mean? You know, when you kind of want something, you want that latest new car or whatnot, or you want to go and get it because it's the one that you've always wanted. I think Timber is the one I think will be a really, really exciting signing that we could get for the next potentially 10 years. And as a player that it's not just based on the fact that, like, I remember I interviewed John Salako and he was surprised that United came in for Wan-Bissaka. You know, I don't want that kind of signing where we just think, oh yeah, because of his kind of longevity and his value over certain years, 50 million makes sense. Whereas actually, this actually makes sense. You know, this Timber makes sense because it's adaptable in the system that Ten Hag wants. So it can only be a good thing for me. But I think we're going to be linked with two centre backs now. I think the Pau Torres one is getting a bit stronger as well. Personally, for me, Adam, I'm not gonna lie to you, I'm not fond of Pau Torres. I just don't think, for me, I think he's almost like a different version of Lindelof, but maybe better on the ball. I'm not sure if I see enough in Pau Torres. He's a left-sided centre back, which is we've not had one in a few years now, since maybe Rojo, is it? You know, and even he was a fullback to start off with. You know, Pau Torres, does that appeal to you? And let me know in the comments
mate.
as well, people. Well, there you
No,
go.
I'm
See
with
how
you,
we're so
mate.
similar.
I'm with you, mate. I'm not a Pau Torres fan. I said this earlier on a previous show. It was like, honestly, if you had to choose, and Romano himself has said, look, it is one or the other. It's not two.
Yeah.
So I would definitely say it's Timber for me over Pau Torres. Again, because the manager knows him. I do think he's best equipped to handle the Premier League, to be honest. This is a player who already knows how much work rate he's going to have to put in. Pau Torres doesn't know what's coming. He's coming into a new manager and a new league. And I'm looking at Timber, who is coming into the new league, yes, but the pace in which Ten Hag plays, and he's coming into a manager who he knows as well, and he's cheaper. It's a no-brainer for me. It really is. It'll be easier to get him because of Van der Sar. It's just like, I think Pau Torres is just being put out there. Personally, I don't think United will get him. Don't get me wrong. No. I could be wrong, and we may go for him, but I don't see it. I think Timber is the one, and I think that's where United's eggs will go towards the Timber basket, mate.
I hope as well, by the way, man, we don't get Timber. Sorry, you know, this Pau Torres instead of Timber. If that's the case, then I think United are making a massive, massive mistake. I generally think Timber's something that is different. I think we need that in Timber. I think with Pau Torres, it's easier to merge someone in and kind of, you know, coach them better. Lindelof, someone else that can come in through. I think with Pau Torres, it's just that we've seen that kind of, like, you know, defender at this football club, very passive, not aggressive, good on the ball, looks tidy. But when you want it and when you can do it, I think for me, you know, a lot of people look at Laporte and that kind of type. I think Laporte is aggressive. He can get physical. He's so much better than Pau Torres. I just don't know if Pau Torres has got them abilities. But this is where, you know, man like Myrtle has to get his use his money and kind of make his worth, because we can't mess up Ten Hag, man. I genuinely, seriously, we can't, because you know what? They did say no to Ralph Ragnick. And for me, people can say, well, he's only interim. But it's not about that, though. We were still in for top four, Adam. So it's not as if, you know, we kind of like we weren't playing anything. We were at the top four. And obviously, situation happened with Greenwood, situation happened with Martial. There was a lot of problems that came in. And he needed a little help. And they didn't give it to him. So
no.
He's going to have to get all the help he needs. And they need to be quick and do this quickly.
Yeah, he was thrown under the bus, I do believe. Like you said, Dan, he did need backing. He didn't get it. I just think that, again, I use the phrase throwing their eggs in the basket. I do believe the club had fully committed to the new manager in the summer. And I think that's where we're going. I think that's why we'll see a very, very busy summer, mate. From what I'm hearing and the news that I'm hearing around from different sources, it is going to be one hell of a summer. and hold on to your hats because I think
Yeah.
United are probably going to be the busiest club. Definitely in the out column, but I would
Oh,
say
massively.
4 or 5 players coming in at least in the summer.
Oh, mate. I think that's about right. I would say 5 to 6 players come into the summer. I think for me, a lot of people are talking about players leaving, but I think for me to to
Mm.
to bring this system into fruition and for everything to kind of merge together, we need to bring players in, man. Because if we don't, then we're gonna have to. Ten Hag's gonna have to do a lot of coaching with players that are just not good enough. And for me, it's not going to work. And I think the more deficiencies in Ten Hag come out than the players, because the players will be like, "Well, I'm only playing and I'm only doing the instructions of Ten Hag." When in reality, they're not good enough. So get him in, get some players in. You know what I mean? I'm looking at that midfield, Adam. I think for me, it's a very, very neglected position. I can't remember a game at Old Trafford. I would probably say Brentford at home, the only team where we've dominated the midfield. Would you argue? Maybe Norwich, but again, Norwich were decent on their day
No, we
when it
didn't
came to Old
dominate
Trafford.
Norwich.
There you
We
go,
were lucky.
exactly.
We were very lucky
Lucky.
against Norwich.
Yeah.
Brentford, yeah, just about. Brentford probably
Yeah.
had half a flip flop on by then anyway. Safe.
Yeah.
Yeah. We've never dominated any game. Every game we've played has always been tight and on a knife edge, mate. Really.
Yeah.
Even the games that we've won big, they were always tight at stages. It wasn't dominated like. That goal was expected from Manchester United. It wasn't. It was like a goal went in and it changed the game, and that's what happens.
Yeah. So I just think for me, midfield area, I would go get 2. I think De Jong is someone that I want to get. And I think for me, I would want to get a defensive midfielder. I looked at Aston Villa, the one they got Kamara in. I
Oh
think that's
no.
another kind of situation. I just think with Man United, it's almost as if they want to do things the kind of the hard way. They've
Yeah,
missed out on Zachariah. Okay, people can say he's not a natural holding midfielder, but still we need someone in there that can play maybe as a double pivot.
mate,
And then
look
they
at
go
it.
and miss out. Yeah.
Zachariah, Kamara, Tuamine, Camavinga, all
There you
there,
go.
and they were gettable, and
Gettable. That's
we're
the
going to
word.
lose out on all of them.
Yeah.
All
It's
of them,
mad, isn't it,
mate.
when you think of it? Mad that, when you actually deep it, like Man United, what kind of midfielder did they actually want? I actually don't know what sort of midfielder. They went
Well,
with Pogba.
I do
It worked.
believe that Frankie De Jong is probably the one that Ten Hag wants.
Yeah.
And like I said before, I think the profile of play is important because we're all looking at what we've needed in terms of a holding midfield player for the likes of Ralph Rangnick, Ole Gunnar
Yeah.
Solskjaer, but that might not be what Ten Hag wants. He may
Exactly.
want a player to drive forward from that position and be a bit more slick on the ball, not just
Yep.
an out and out, but it all goes down to what system he wants to put in. If he's going to uphold what he does, then you could easily see probably, I don't know which ones are the ones we've got that actually work, but let's give Garner a chance. If he comes in
Yeah.
the summer impressions in pre-season with a De Jong in front of him, does Donny van der
Yeah.
Beek come back into that role?
Yeah,
Where
that'd be
does
an
Bruno
interesting one,
play? It's,
I think
you know what I
Bruno's
mean?
interesting, because Bruno almost vacates a position on his own, and then you've got 2 that have to basically vacate to him. Does that make sense to you? So he's got to
Yeah.
vacate the number 10 role, and he's almost like a designated role for Bruno Fernandes that nobody can touch because Lingard's come in, Pereira's been there, everybody's been there, and Donny's been there, and nobody can take that role from Bruno Fernandes, and it's been designated. Whether that's in his contract, I don't know. And then almost the 2 have to work in to cover his ground because he isn't disciplined enough to come back into midfield and drop into
That's
midfield.
what
Yeah,
Ten will bring, hopefully, that discipline to
that's what I'm
Bruno's
saying.
game.
Yeah, yeah. Well, we're gonna hope so because for me, I can't be bothered seeing this McFred anymore. That's one thing I'm gonna be
Oh,
hopeful.
please,
McFred,
if
oh
we
my
start another
god,
season with them two, then I will
oh
just
my god.
fucking. It will be too much to handle. Sitting there at Old Trafford, all excited, first game of the season. Here we go, new era. It's all starting
Yeah,
again. And then
yeah,
McFred roll out a special offer from Mackey's. God's sake, no
yeah.
more, no
No more,
more.
man. No more, man. I just want to hope that United can come in, build a new team, build a new system, build a new identity, and let's bring in players who are going to play us that fast, exciting football. You know what I mean? And give us that kind of new dimension because we're missing that. Old Trafford has lacked that for years. That kind of dimension that you can get edge of your feet. I've been at Old Trafford so many games, and you've been to many away games and many home games, Adam, where you're just thinking you're waiting and you're thinking, hold on a minute, it's been 10, 15 minutes, no action. There's no play. There's no, there's nothing. There's no imagination. There's no risk take from the midfielders because they're happy to pass, sideways.
They don't. That's it. There's no risk to playing scared, mate. And they played scared the whole second half of the season. They don't want to be the one getting the boos off the fans and taking the criticism. They don't want to take risks. Yeah. Bruno will take all the criticism because he's not afraid to take risks. Now, you rein that into a system like Ten Hag's got, and you could get the real Bruno Fernandes. Does he even start in that position, though, under Ten Hag? I mean, no one's going to be bothered if Bruno doesn't because we want to get behind the manager. You could see Donny van der Beek coming back in, Frankie de Jong in a position there. Could Bruno go out to the right? Even,
could
you know what I mean? His work rate really suits Ten Hag, which is why I don't see Bruno being dropped. I think there is a player in there, and he already epitomizes everything about Ten Hag. He's just not had the management, the work rate. I mean, no one covers more ground than what Bruno Fernandes does in every single Manchester United game. Ten Hag grounds that, uses it, then you've got a different ball game there, and you've got players behind him who are disciplined, who know how to work the system. I think Bruno's smart enough to learn the system, and I think he will. I've seen him adapt for Portugal now, and now he's playing better for Portugal. United just had no direction. And there's a few players who fall into that. There's a few players, not just Bruno, who fall into that category. I mean, someone said to me before, what about Sancho? When 100% Sancho in a system like he was at Dortmund will suit it very well because he's disciplined, he works hard. And then you've got to think, right, okay, Rashford, you got your last chance this pre-season, mate. You're going to have to pull up some trees and show something because if Ten Hag sticks to his philosophy and his ethos and Marcus Rashford turns up like he has this season, Marcus Rashford will never wear a Manchester United shirt again. If he does, having played like he has this season under Ten Hag, then we know Ten Hag hasn't got the power that we all wanted. They're the two players I would look out for. Harry Maguire and Marcus Rashford. Yep. If they start playing like they did last season, that goes against everything Ten Hag is. And that will tell you straight away, if they are playing, Ten Hag's hands are tied as well. And that's going to be the biggest challenge of all for Eric Ten Hag. If Rashford can be turned around, if he can make a player out of Harry Maguire, I do believe, like I said, though, if a player comes in at centre-back, which we know it will, Harry Maguire don't get ahead of Varane. So Maguire is benched straight away. Next season, Harry Maguire will not start for Manchester United in that opening game. Can't, because you don't get ahead of a World Cup winner who has 4 Champions League medals, 20-odd medals to his name. Harry Maguire has won nothing. You will not leave Varane on the bench if he's fit. And a new player coming in is obviously a player that Ten Hag wants, so he is going to play. Bye-bye, Harry Maguire. You're going to have to earn your way back in and take your chance when it comes. And that's it.
And that's for every player. That's for every player. To earn a position for me is the most refreshing thing I want to hear because, again, people have took liberties. People have took play for Man United granted, you know what I mean? And a lot of people have got opportunities because others have failed. Is that a situation that would have happened back in the day? I don't think so. I think players would have been hungry to keep their positions, and I think that would have been a formality. I think for me, the biggest one I want to see is players that can play multiple systems. I think you called them on Bruno that can play on the right. We've seen De Bruyne play on the right for Man City, play through the middle, play attacking, play a bit more defensive. Gundogan take up position. Sterling play through the middle. Multifaceted, playing multiple systems. You're going to see a training ground now where there's less emphasis on, just shooting drills and, kind of playing these little five-a-side games. It's going to be actual, systems, and they're going to be playing in different formations and whatnot. I want to see that. And also, that training that they do is going to be all changed. There's no more practicing and shooting for 20 minutes. And I'm not even kidding you. That's what they do at Old Trafford. They practice. I don't know if they do that at away games, but,
it's all the same, mate.
There you go. Practicing
exactly the
20
same.
minutes.
We'll do a bit of keep ball in the middle, and then go into shooting practice, layoffs, and free kicks.
Yeah,
and it's just like kids
it's almost
down
as
the
if
park.
they love that. Yeah, it's almost as if that. I always feel like for me, I try time it, and I think, have the players just say, when you just say, right, I'm going to do 2 minutes of work, and then but I want to have 15 minutes outside. That's what I used to happen in school when I was a teacher. Like, these kids would not want to do work, so they'd I'd try and get them to do 2 minutes of work because I knew at least I could get 2 minutes of work out of them so I could got something to mark rather than doing nothing at all and then they're going out to play all day. So this is what they've done, these players. They said, right, okay, then we'll do a bit of drills and training, but we've got to have 20 minutes of shooting. And Ronaldo and all these lot, they want it. And that's how it is, man. So Ten Hag coming in and saying, right, we're not doing that. You're not getting treats before you actually do work. You've got to do work first. I'm going to do it properly. So that for me is a massive, massive situation. Someone's asking here, Steve's asking, brings Ziyech alone. I personally, I'm not looking to see Ziyech. I think he's kind of failed at Chelsea.
We can't bring the whole Ajax team together, can we?
We're not going to do that. We're not bringing a boy band. Yeah. We're not bringing a boy band. You know what I mean? Because for me, we're not even talking about even like how Pogba's leaving. I know people will say it's been a massive disappointment his whole career, but that is a huge gap to fill. There's a lot of gaps where certain players might not be here. There's injuries as well. The medical department, we could have a lot of players that are available. Amad Diallo's coming back through. I think Martial, for me, I think we should sell him. I just don't see it happening. It didn't work out for Sevilla. I think he's not there yet. I think Rashford could be a big season for him, but I don't know whether he'll like him. There's a lot of question marks in terms of outs. As much as we're focused on ins, there's a lot of players that are going out. There's up to maybe 10 players that could leave the football club. That's a huge kind of, part of the squad that is just going, Adam, and we have to fill them positions in, whether they're good or not, because again, it's dog eat dog out there, man. Teams are coming up.
Wow, you look at the ones that are strengthening already, mate, in the likes of Newcastle, Villa.
Yeah.
It's a case of, look, no more messing around, or we're going to be overtaken not by the 5 that are ahead of us now, but there's more coming up behind us. I mean, we should be looking ahead, but we have to be very wary of what's coming up behind us as well. Yeah, can't fall down anymore because let's be honest, we're losing pretty much a full first team this summer in terms of the players and where they would go. We're all going to get first team football in the Premier League. We're losing that. If you count them up, you could easily lose what? You're looking at Wan-Bissaka, Dean Henderson, Eric Bailly, Phil Jones, and you're looking at Matic, Mata, Pogba, Martial.
Yeah.
I mean, Cavani. You've lost Greenwood. There's a full team there. Yeah. There's 11 players pretty much.
Full team, man.
Unbelievable.
100%, mate. It's a full team, man. I feel like for me, you know what I mean? It's a big task for Ten Hag. You know what I mean? How does he approach it, Adam, in terms of style of play? Trying to appease the board in terms of trophies. For me, I think step by step for me is to create a style of play, create an identity, a culture at the club that we're here not to mess about. We're not here to kind of participate. We're here to take over, man. We are here in the view of being that club that challenges Man City, Liverpool, not just diddling around top 4, aiming for the top, man. I know it will take time, but what's your viewpoint? What do you want him to change first? Have you got any kind of
the culture
opinions on that? Yeah,
the culture. He's already made a start on that. What we were talking about before, of being upfront and knowing everybody. His culture will be knowing every single member of staff, including the player staff, inside and out.
Yeah,
he will know when something's wrong. He will know when the player isn't at his best or he has got a problem elsewhere. He won't be any of these clicks. It's the culture. I think that's what he's going for. Really, he's already come in and started it. He's seen it straight away. No one's ever come into a club and done what he's done in terms of how he's approached it this week. He's already seen problems here, there, and everywhere. He will listen to Ralph Rangnick, but you know what? He's got that line, like he said. He's his own man. And that's what I think he will attack first. He will get his ideas across. And it's that way or it's the highway, mate.
Absolutely. Big up to my guy, Nathan Minas. I appreciate the super chat, mate. He goes, congratulations on 50K. Love to that, bro. 100K real soon, hopefully. Big up to Saeed and Adam. Do you think Timber will be your first signing? Yeah. I think personally he will. I genuinely do. I think it's almost the easiest sign to kind of like, just say, right, we're serious now. It's a very, very, gettable signing. It's easily done. You don't have to do all this nonsense about, I want this wage. He's a player on the up. He's a player who's about to establish himself. And I think for me, that'll be the signing that makes sense for Man United to just get the fans
Mhm.
not back on side, but to kind of say, right, the Ten Hag era is moving now. So for me,
That's it.
yeah,
It's
man,
moving, and
big up, man.
we can see the direction he wants to go in as well with the type of player that he's bringing in. That's what it
Yeah,
is.
100%, 100%, man. And for me, the fact that he didn't give anything away, the fact that he didn't, say anything that would give any rival fans an inkling of what he's gonna do, I just love it, man. You know what I mean? I think Ralph Ragnick came in and just laid the foundations and said, "This ain't good enough. This ain't good enough." And he wanted the club to know this because at the end of the day, there's no point him coming in and being an advisor if he can't even give good advice. You know what I mean? So why a lot of
Mhm.
people like Rio Ferdinand, I think for me, we have to call him out. Why he said that Ralph Rangnick should stop talking. For me, I found that a bit, crazy. Honestly, I did. I just thought to myself, why wouldn't you want that, Rio? Why wouldn't you want a man who's trying to tell the football club what they should and shouldn't be doing? You know what I mean? Why wouldn't you? When you see the club how
He's
messy it is,
coming from a
all he did give us that.
he's coming from a players' union position now, Rio Ferdinand.
Yeah,
He's
hundred
looking at
percent.
it solely on the player side of things and not how much these players have thrown him under the bus.
Yeah,
So no, I don't think there's any fan that's had a problem in terms of what Ralph Rangnick did in terms of actually outing the players and saying what he did in the press conferences or in interviews. I
yeah,
think all United fans were like, "Wow, breath of fresh air! This is the man who actually
yeah,
speaks his mind and tells us facts. No riddles, no politics, just true hard facts." And yeah, it may be easy because we know he's an interim and he isn't going to be there long, and he's not really got much consequences after this season. It's easier for
yeah.
managers to talk like that, but still, he did it. Do you know what I
Uh-huh.
mean? And
Did it?
the club putting in the interim manager sort of backfired on them.
Absolutely. And I think for me, I just want to know what's in that file that Ralph Rangnick is going to give
The
to Ten Hag
dossier.
or has give the dossier. Yeah, and people can say, well, he's going to make his own judgment, but for me, something can be very, very alarming, and that could be the kind of file and the kind of the post mortem from the season because it does feel like a slow death this season. You know what I mean? When you look at the 5-0s, you look at the 4-1s at City away, and you look at the City 2-0 at home, and the fact that we got beat by Middlesbrough. It's a long, long overhaul season, and he has to read that. He has to analyze it. He has to take everything from it. He has to gather information, and you know what? He'll be looking at players smiling in their face, but behind the smile, there's a kind of listen. I know about you, mate. Bruno, you give the ball away. Ronaldo, there was a part of the season where it looked like you weren't there, but again, he's looking at his age. You're looking at Sancho. Why has it took him a while to settle in? Is he doing the right stuff here? Maguire, what's going on with him? Dalot's a tricky situation, which I want to touch on a little bit in terms of his defending. I'm still not convinced, Adam, man. I don't know what you think
Mhm.
about Dalot, but his defending is atrocious, mate. And people don't want to call it. And people say, well, he goes up and down that touchline, mate. First, you're a defender. And for me, he's getting beat all the time. Luke Shaw injury record. Why is Luke Shaw getting a lot of injuries? What's going on? Why is it happening that he's always having a layoff? McTominay, too many side passes. How's he having 7 passes in one game? Like all these things, I can analyze it. Adam can analyze it. But again, the manager now has to take it on board, Adam, and say, right, we put an end to this and we find out what's going on at this football club.
Exactly that, mate. He's already said he's analysing it himself. All he's
Yeah,
doing at the moment is analysing and checking out everything that he needs to know, ready for when he meets the players, which is all
yeah,
good and well. It's if he's got the cut and thrust and the balls to make the calls when it comes to dropping these
yeah,
players, mate. That's the
yeah,
thing. McTominay would be one. McLaren's already bigged up McTominay, so there's an issue
yeah.
straight away.
Oh,
He's going to have to
I've not
draw
seen that one.
his
When's he said that?
line.
When's he said that?
He said that, I think. He said it today or yesterday, I think. He said, when you put McTominay on the pitch, he does that job for you every time. I'm just like,
Oh
shut up,
gosh,
Steve.
man.
Don't start joining the McTominay fan club.
This is what I mean,
Yeah,
man. But that's the problem, though. That's the culture that needs to change in terms of just giving it isn't enough. And he said that good isn't enough. You have to have that
yeah.
outstanding factor. Man City have that outstanding factor where McTominay wouldn't even be on the youth reserve team. Let's be real, man. We have to have the outstanding, qualities, not just the fact that, because I was talking today,
Mm.
today, and I feel like for me, like someone like Mahrez, like people might not see the passion in him, but he still plays on a pitch wanted to win. You have to have players that want to win, but also have the ability to play football. McTominay, I'm sorry to single him out, but he's just one of them where I just don't think he's good enough. And for me, he's not a United player. It's as simple as that. Like, I'm sorry. I've seen it with my own eyes. passion is something that comes and goes. You have it 1 minute, and then next minute you can come out with your chest and say, right, it's not there, and we're as a team we're not showing enough, but I'm showing enough. Come on, man. Let's be real, Adam. We need serious players this summer.
Right, exactly that. I said the same thing about McTominay earlier on. That midfield area needs the most work this summer. I'm looking at players that we've already got that could complement a Frankie de Jong if he came in. I'd rather have Donny or Jimmy Garner than anyone that we've got in there right now.
Yeah.
That's how I'm looking at it. McTominay, from what McLaren has said, I think take it with a pinch of salt. Ten Hag has said it himself, and he draws his own line. So anything McLaren said will be listened to, but ultimately we know we've got a manager who hopefully, like I just said, then has got the balls to make them calls, because I'm not having what Ralph Rangnick said in terms of him being the leader. He's not, because his own performance on the pitch is never good enough to be a leader. For being a leader, for one, you have to perform week in, week out. That's not a leader, and that's why we've always said that this club is not. This team has got no leaders in it because no one can perform. Ronaldo, possibly yes, but there's no more that have come out of this season, and that's it, mate. He needs to be able to go right now. Scott, you're on the bench. Sorry, that's it.
Absolutely. Big up to Third Man Chazzo. Big up to you, Charlie. He goes, evening, lads. Talk about transfer market. Watch Tyrone Malacia from Feyenoord again tonight. Was excellent. Expansive left back. Ten Hag should be looking at him. Yeah. In terms of the fullbacks, Adam, do you want to change in there? Are you okay in there?
You've got player of the season in the under-23s, Alvaro Fernandez, coming through right now at left back.
Absolutely.
There's one there. I think left back, leave it be. You've got Shaw. You've got Tellers. Tellers isn't good enough, I know, but Fernandez there. Maybe look at the left back in the summer. I think right back, definitely need to be looking in that area this summer. That is a big concern, that one. I think we've got enough there with the likes of Shaw, Tellers, and Fernandez coming through. You know what? Fernandez already quite a tall. He needs a bit of meat on him, I'll say that. But player of the season in the under-23s, potential there, obviously, with how Ten Hag works young players. But left back, leave alone. Centre back and right back, definitely, I think should be. I would say right back, centre mid, centre forward, 100% definites. And then another midfielder on top of that to make at least 5 signings. That's where I would go, mate.
Absolutely. Especially with the competition, Adam, around in Europe. And, you look at
that quick, mate. I mean, look how quick Newcastle are moving. Villa, like we just said, mate. We cannot wait around. We haven't got time. We need to act fast.
Yeah, pre-season's coming as well. You know what I mean? And the replace report back in mid-June, is it, or something like that? That's only about 3-4 weeks away. You know what I mean? It's not as if June is around the corner. It's 5 days away from June.
Well, first pre-season game is in 7 weeks.
7 weeks, exactly. So they'll have 4 weeks off, I'm guessing, and then they'll be back to training for 3 weeks, and then they head out to pre-season. So this is what I'm trying to say, people. We have to be serious, man. You know, we've got to act quickly. And I think for me, getting the right players in different areas and getting the right players that actually fit the football club should be the biggest priority of Man United. There's no more dilly-dallying around anymore. Not getting players just for commercial value. Just buying players for the sake of it because you think, it might suit this and whatnot. We've spent a lot of money and we've not used that money wisely. It's about time Man United get this done properly, and we can back a manager. Because I don't know about you, Adam, because I feel like for me, after Ten Hag, I'm just looking at life and I'm thinking, bloody hell, mate, it's not going to be great. If Ten Hag doesn't work, then for me, I don't know, mate. I genuinely don't know. So this is it for me. It's all or nothing.
We're in trouble, mate. Yeah, if Ten Hag doesn't work, we're in trouble big time. That's how you look at it easily.
Yeah, and we can't come in and we can say, be positive about the new manager. That's what Adam's already said. 7-8 managers have come in since Fergie. So that's another another 2 after that. So come on, man. We've got to be serious now. Go and get proper players in, and let's get this football club rolling in the right way. But we can only hope in it, Adam. It's the hope that kills in it every single time.
It kills. That's what, funny enough, that's what Danny Webber said to me when I interviewed him Saturday. He said, if you ain't got a hope, you've got nothing. But
there you go.
That's what hurts more than anything. No, we build up to be knocked straight back down again. But I do believe there is the best vibe, our best new manager vibe feeling about Ten Hag coming in above all others that have been in over the last decade. I do believe that this one has got that. We've made every single mistake under the sun. All that old era is gone. The players and the backroom staff that are leaving this summer does feel like the freshest start that we can get. And we cannot allow this opportunity to pass us by. We have to actually use this summer now and actually make sure that we get who we need in all areas, including the coaching staff and everyone that Ten Hag needs, and give him the power to get rid of who he needs to get rid of. Yeah, and that's it. Absolutely. All power to the manager.
Absolutely, absolutely, mate. Big up to everybody who's watched the show, people. Please, guys, like the video on your way out. It helps massively. Help the channel growth, helps us get in the algorithms and whatnot. So if you haven't liked the video already, please like the video. Adam, let them know where they can find you, man.
Yeah, you get me on Adam Matic TV on my own personal channel, and obviously I'm on the United Stand now. Transfer season is upon us. Check that out. All my socials are on my channel as well. Adam Matic 31 on Instagram, probably where I do most of my bidding there anyway.
Absolutely, mate. Big up to everybody who's watching. Like I said, we'll try to do this weekly, people. So normally we film it on a Thursday. Today we just had to do it on a Wednesday, but we'll be back weekly on a Thursday. Obviously, Adam's Sunday show is still on, people. 6:30 on a Sunday.
Yeah.
So are we back this week? Yeah.
We are, mate. We are. We're at it. We're back again.
Back again, people. So make sure you tune in for that one as well. But like I said to you, people, enjoy the rest of your evening. Thanks for the 50K. Like I said, there will be a special stream on that one. Hopefully Sunday night-ish, we'll do a stream for that one. But big up to everybody who's watching, and we'll see you soon, guys. Take care. Bye-bye.